Welcome back to What's Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the 105 leFH18B2, the French Tier 5 Premium SPG that you might know as a leFH or a leaf blower, we know as VP La Pew Pew. And this one is located on the southwest spawn of Live Oaks, and it's under the command of sunshinebilly, and he's on the Australian New Zealand server, at least I think he is, or Southeast Asia. I think it's definitely Australia, New Zealand. Game on. Okay, it's a 105mm light field howitzer, which is an artillery piece mounted on top of a Char B1 hull. It's not particularly fast as an Arty, it's fairly slow. It's only got a top speed of 28 kilometers an hour, but it is a heavy tank in disguise because, of course, that gun is an Arty gun, and this is a premium SPG. Yes, Wargaming only makes 2 of them, and this is one of them. Okay, it looks like we found a firing position and sunshinebilly's looking for an enemy tank. Okay, he's capable of doing 410 alpha, penetrating 53mm of armor, and he's got a blast radius of 1.91 meters. So anything gets close to it, then he's going to do some damage, probably splash them. Now, it was pointed out to me the other day that actually an artillery round of 105mm is very likely to do damage if you're 30 meters away from it, let alone just 2 meters, because artillery does have considerable effect. Okay, Cromwell B, the other side of the battlefield, long way away. It's a 3.2 second delay, but he's going to take a speculative shot. Yep. The chances of hitting that one were very, very weak indeed. Okay, some enemy tanks have made their way into the town, and we're now having a look to see if we can get shots on them. A Laws's M4A2, that's part of the Lend-Lease that went to the Soviet Union from America. Rams out. I think the amusing thing is that most of the Lend-Lease tanks, rather than crossing the Pacific and actually going to Russia that way, most of them ended up actually going over the Atlantic, going around the North Cape area, and were then sent to Murmansk because that was much closer to the battlefield. Rams out in the KV-1, and down goes the water tower. Okay, now settle it. That's it, let it settle. Rams out, looks good. Yes, 100 hit points. So he's on the scoreboard, so to speak. Now, of course, the Germans made 16 of this Arty, and they actually captured quite a few Char B1s during the Battle of France intact, and some which actually were then repaired afterwards. Of course, the Char B1 became famous for the Battle of Stone, where Pierre Belot, a French captain in the French army, with his Char B1 Ure, actually managed to destroy 12, is it 12 or 13? I can never remember which one it is. It's either 12 or 13 enemy tanks. I think it was 2 Panzer IV, Panzer IVs, and 10 Panzer IIIs, the Panzer IIIs, with his Char B1. They were all parked up in the street, and he just drove his tank past them, blowing them up one by one. Some of them did react and actually started firing at him, and he just blew them away. At the end of the battle, after he'd retreated away from the Battle of Stone, from Stone, he had 140 hits on his vehicle, and not one of them had penetrated. Rounds out in the DK, nope, hits the building. And now, if you want to, you can get a Belot medal in the game. You have to kill at least 1 enemy tank, take 4 hits, knocking out either 80% of your health or 4 critical hits on your body, and survive the battle. Lovely hit on the Lawser. And that KV-1 shielded is on fire. Rounds out. Another hit, 107. Unfortunately, we've lost all of the tanks that were in the town defending. He's fired at what he thought was some damage being done there. Got an Object 244 sitting at that gap. Got him. That's out. Well, it hit the building. Can you get a shot on the target? Let it settle before you shoot. No, you didn't let it settle. Keep it on that spot and then just let it settle. Rounds out. That's better. 168 off that one. That was a good shot. Let it settle again. Rounds out. Yes! Another hit. It's all about letting the aim settle on the target before you shoot. Rounds out. And another hit. This time on the engine deck for 106. That guy's being really punished. And now he's out the game. Now, there's only... what's it, 6 left on our team, and there's 7 on the enemy team. Rounds out in the VK. Oh, that was brutal. Took the VK3018 out of the game, and that's his first kill for Sunshine Billy. Okay, the Law's M4 is behind that wall, but he's now looking over this side of the battlefield because the enemy Fifi's been found, and he might be in that bush. He's just dialing in. Rounds out. Oh, we saw the tree go down, and some fencing is being destroyed the other side of the road. I think he's moved. I wouldn't waste any more ammo. You're down to 30 rounds now. So you've got 2/3 of your hit point, 2/3 of your rounds left, or no, slightly less than two. Slightly more than 2/3. Well, there goes the KV-1. But now it's 4 each on either side. Oh, no, I spoke too soon. Now it's 3 on our side, 4 on the enemy side. We're looking for any sign. Oh, okay, we just saw the tracer. It looks like he's gone back to the same spot again. Trouble is, that might attract the attention of that Arty, because we're firing over there. And if we do get near him, he might decide to fire in our direction. And Sunshine Billy hasn't been moving from his spot at all. And that's the result, yes. He was giving away his position. He was trying to hit the enemy Arty. And if the enemy Arty got any inkling that he was there, he was going to look for the tracer and try and fire a round back. And he did. But he only hit us on the tracks. He didn't actually do any structural damage other than critical hit. So Sunshine Billy's backing up to try and fool the enemy as to where we are. There's a T-67 shown on the east side of the enemy of the battlefield, up at the enemy end of the map. Now he might have decided to come down the railway line. If he does, it'd be a very good idea for Sunshine Billy to get in the bushes and protect himself against that T-67, because he could whiz down and suddenly appear out of the bushes and try and come in from his rear, flank him. He's having a look over that far, but remember the view range on this Arty is only 390 meters. Oh, T-67 on our team's come back to try and help. And in fact, there's the enemy T-67. He's actually to the north of us, so he doubled around and came back over this side of the map. So now we're looking at him. Okay, he's trying to come up over the hill, trying to use his gun depression on us. I don't think he can see us, but Sunshine Billy can most certainly see him. Rounds out. Just zipped over the top of him. But if he keeps doing what he's doing, he is going to get hit. Rounds out. Yes! Oh, that went straight through him as well, because it's 345 hit points, and that means it has to be a penetrating shot. That went straight through his frontal armour, where it's fairly thin anyway. T-67, of course, was the development tank before the M18 Hellcat came into being. It was supposed to be very lightweight because, of course, they wanted it to be able to go fast. And, oh, the enemy... sorry, not the enemy. Our BDR-G1B just got taken out by the enemy Fifi. Which now means it's just down to 2 on our side, facing 3 enemy tanks. But I don't think the enemy Fifi knows where we are at the moment. Okay, so he's anticipating that the M4A2 is going to come around that corner. Law's M4. The enemy team's also got a KV-1 and has said that Fifi as well, who's backing them up. Now, if I was in that Fifi, I would have moved from over the other side of the battlefield and got closer. Here comes the Laws's M4. He's decided to make a bold move, try and get closer. That was the T67 firing at him. Just knocked a bit of the building down. Now, if he can get a shot through that building into the M4. And the M4... Oh, he got a kill! The T67 made a hole in the building and... Well, Sunshine Billy's shell went straight through. Rounds out. That's a hit. 67 hit points. He got a critical hit into the side of the KV-1. Difficult shot here because he's having to dial in and fire over the hillside, but he still gets him. And it looks like he ruptured the fuel tanks as well as damaged the tracks. And possibly damaged the turret as well. I think that's the turret icon. So he's possibly wounded that guy in 3 ways. T67 is moving forward. Now, is that KV-1 going to go over the top? I don't think he'd do that because he hasn't got the gun depression. He's only got 5 degrees or thereabouts if I remember correctly. But there's the tree going down. So he's definitely just over that hill. That was a speculative shot just in case he was still there. I think he's more than likely going to go down to the far end and try and come round the hill. But the T67 is spotting for us now. Yeah, this looks like where he's going to go. Oh, there's the enemy Arty. He's somewhere behind those bushes. He's in the vicinity because we saw the tracer emanate from behind those bushes. Can't see anything. No tracers coming out now. But he's definitely close. Definitely close. Just like I said, he's closed the distance to get more accurate shots quicker. And there's the KV-1. He's coming to sight. Okay, line him up. Dial in. Let's settle. Rounds out. Yes! Oh, he's got a fire! And a kill! That's the arsonist. He set light to him and he went up. Now, is that KV-1 somewhere behind those bushes? I certainly think he is, because that's where the tracer came from. It might be worth a shot or two, even though he's only got 17 rounds of ammunition left. T67's decided to go for the enemy cap. Despite the fact that we're looking in this direction, T67's not heading over there to have a look. I think he's acting as if the enemy Arty is still near the enemy cap area. Okay, Sunshine Billy, he's decided he's going to move. He's going to do something, try and close the distance on the enemy. As I mentioned earlier, getting closer means, of course, shorter reaction time and also that he's more likely to get an accurate hit. We've seen Sunshine Billy perform in this Arty before. And he's done well in it. He's had ace tankers before. And the T67's decided to cap. We've been spotted. Okay, okay, so get into cover quick. Where is the enemy Arty? Yes, he is behind the bushes and he's just hit us for 49 hit points. We're repairing the tracks. And a nice hit in return for 126. But we get smacked in return and tracked again. Can we fix our tracks in time? Well, we do get hit again, and now we're down to just 4 hit points. And we're moving. T67's abandoned the cap. He's coming in to attack the enemy Fifi from behind. Okay, the enemy Fifi's seen him and is turning around to face him. Sunshine Billy can't get a shot. The building's in the way. And he's definitely in defilade. We can't get a shot. And the T67's been damaged. Oh, and he's out the game. So it's now down to Sunshine Billy to win the game for the team. And he's going in. He's going to try and shotgun the guy at close range if he can. He's auto-aimed on. Oh, yes! Wins the game with a shotgun. Excellent play. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was an ace tanker game for Sunshine Billy in the 105 leFH18B2. He managed to get a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He ended up with 5, 1/3 of the enemy team, and just 1 short of getting a top gun. He got an arsonist because he set light to that KV-1 at the end and watched him burn to death, as well as getting a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 14 in this game. And on top of all that, he got a Stark's medal. Now, these are difficult to get because in order to get one, you have to get at least 2 kills. You have to lose nearly 2/3 of your hit points, or at least 2/3 of your hit points, receive at least 2 shots from the enemy, and of course you have to survive the battle as well. And yes, so they are difficult to get. And his win rate from that game is 6,957, which is Super Unicum standard and quite a bit more. Let's have a look at team score. Well, he didn't get the highest damage in the game. No, that was 2,157 hit points of damage, but he didn't get the high caliber. He did get it, but not the high caliber. Got the Stark's medal only. And the T-67 managed to get a Confederate as well. The second highest damage in the game went to the enemy Fifi, with 2,025 went to him and 1,800 went to the Object 244 and the enemy team in 3rd place. When it came to kills, it was Sunshine Billy with 5 kills. 3 kills went to the enemy Fifi and to their Cromwell B. And then we got a whole bunch of tanks with 2 kills apiece. And when it came to base XP, yes, he's got that one as well. He's the only player to get over 1,000. 1,167 base experience points. And of course, that means he's got the top in all 3 columns. And of course, an ace tanker. And the second highest damage went to the, or second highest base XP went to the T-67 with 758. And the third highest XP went to the enemy Fifi with 740. He fired 35 rounds in that game, so he had 15 rounds left at the end of the game. 15 direct hits on the enemy, 3 penetrations, and I'm pretty certain I know which ones he penned, because of course we know that he penned the T-67, because that was a brutal shot right through his front for 345 hit points. Yep, definite pen. And it appears that the second, he actually penned Laws's M4, the one that was hiding behind the house. And he penned him twice during that game, so he must have got him a second time. 517 hit points in total. But penning somebody twice, that's pretty good going. And in fact, that shell, if you remember, went straight through the house, or the gap in the house, and hit the Laws's M4 and took him out the game. He also got 17 splashes on the enemy as well, 2,157 hit points of damage in total, but 1,765 of that was at long range, so a fair amount of damage was done at close range. 3 hits received and 4 hits by way of splash damage as well, and of course the 4 hits being the one he received originally, which of course didn't actually pen, just damaged the tracks, and the other 3 were the ones that did actually hit him, hit the vehicle. That was from the Fifi, the enemy Fifi, as he was approaching him. 7 enemy vehicles were damaged, 5 were killed, 62 hit points of damage assistance. He earned 51,213 credits from the game, and after repair, ammunition, resupply and consumables, took away 41,984 credits profit, 25 bonds for completing the premium mission of the day, and 1,750 XP, 700 for this being a premium vehicle, took away 2,450 experience points altogether. So I think we've seen it before, but we'll go through it again. Let's have a look at the armor profile for the Fifi. As you can see, it's basically from the waist down, it's a heavy tank. From the waist up, it's not. That's a gun shield, and that gun shield is only 20mm at the front. At the sides, it's 25mm. Now, that gun shield's only there to stop the crew from getting killed by shell splinters and bullets. It's not designed to stop a tank round. This area is designed to stop a tank round, because this is all heavy tank here, and you can see it's 60mm effective armor there somewhere, 75. You can see it's very tough indeed. Even the driver's port area is 45mm, and the place where the 75mm gun used to be on a Char B1, where it's been taken out, has been covered with 45mm of armor, which is still very tough. At the sides of this vehicle, it's 60mm, so still very effective, even though it's slab-sided. and at the rear it's 55mm, still very tough. There should be two weak spots. There should be a radiator here on this side of the vehicle, and it's just a louvered radiator to allow the heat to escape from the engine. And on the other side of the tank there should be a little door here on this tank where the crew would get in and out of the vehicle. But they're missing from the actual model, which is a surprise because they were weak spots that you're supposed to aim for if you want to get easy pens on this tank. And in fact the Germans knew that during the Second World War. Let's have a look at the modules. Okay, here's the modules. You can see the driver up front, and of course the driver would actually aim the 75mm gun when this was a Char B1, but of course because the Germans took the Char B1's 75mm out of the tank and covered it up, he doesn't actually have to aim any gun using it. The gun is aimed by the gunner, who's actually up in the cockpit area up top, and on the other side of the tank is the tank commander with a radio, and at the back there you can see there's the loader sitting behind the breech, able to shovel the shells from the ready rack, which is here, into the breech, and then there's another ammunition store down below in the hull of the vehicle. The fuel tank is on the right-hand, well, left-hand side as we were looking at it, yes, that side, and next to the engine, and the transmission is right at the back of the vehicle. There is a little tunnel which the driver could get out through a little hatch here, and crawl his way down through the tank to get to the engine if he needed to do any work on it. And of course these guys up in the cockpit here had a hatch which they could then go down to actually pull the ammunition up to fill the ready rack again. So yes, if you want to hit this tank and knock it out, the best thing to do is to aim for the gun shield at the top. Don't auto aim onto this thing. If you do auto aim on, I'll show the armor model again. Most auto aims will go onto the heavy armor, which will put you hitting this area here. Now it's a little difficult if you do auto aim with an Arty, but you are going to do sufficient damage that the explosion of HE will actually hit the gun shield anyway, and should knock the vehicle out of the game. But I think most people, if you hit it with a big enough HE round, it's going to do a lot of damage. And as you saw in this battle, Sunshine Billy auto-aimed onto him right at the end and got a hit at close range, and that did the job. Now, I hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And we will have more battles with Fifis coming up shortly because we've had a spate of replays coming in. I think it may have been happening because Wargaming did put the Fifi on sale a couple of months back, and lots of people went out and got them, and they're now having a lot of fun with them and sending me in really good replays. They're worth doing and showing because it's always a bit of fun watching a premium SPG in game. And I just wish that Wargaming would actually put more premium SPGs in the game. They could, they should, but they won't, because at the moment there's a very vocal crowd of unicums who really just can't cope with Arty. You see, they don't know how to. They don't know how to play the game properly. They don't know how to work into the game and think about, oh, how do I avoid getting hit by Arty in this position? They scream and they shout when they do get hit by Arty, but if they played differently, then they wouldn't get hit by Arty. It's a very simple way to avoid getting hit by Arty, and that's not being seen by Arty. But they just don't know how to do that, which is a pity. Anyway, please do let other people know about the channel. Do let them know as well that we're giving all the proceeds from this channel to the Red Cross Ukraine appeal to help the refugees. So the more videos you watch, the more money we can send them. Thanks for watching.